Hello there. The title of this video is Know Your What, which is very important in this day and age, which I feel a lot of people don't value their very low self-worth. To know your worth, you must understand of where you come from, and sadly a lot of people don't know, or they choose to not believe it. We are a living soul. We were created by God, and we're created in His image, a fractured image, but nonetheless that's the default sin. Knowing that you were created for a unique purpose, and we are created with a unique purpose that is at times beyond the comprehension, and we often struggle with why we exist. And if you understand why you exist, it gives you more sense of what. Well, it's very important to have self-worth and self-belief in oneself, but not let it go off the head. Couldn't find the balance of that as well. But if your worth is dependent on things that are temporary, you're going to have a roller coaster of emotions. Like, say if your worth is based on people's opinions and perceptions of you may change over time. So that's not a really good foundation to build your worth on. I often say that it's best to have your worth from within, of things that are outside, of things that are temporary, things that are eternal. What's eternal? God. He has you know, you have His worth in Him because He created you in the first place. He gave you a soul, you're breathing, your gifts, abilities, you're uniquely created. There's only one of you, one of me, one of anybody. That's something to take worth in, is your uniqueness. There's no one person the same, there's no like one shred of hair the same, there's no one particle in your body that is the exact same as someone else. Even twins, even though they may look near completely identical, they're uniquely separate in themselves, when their soul, or when characteristics and personality. And so if your worth is dependent on people's perception of you, or of what you do for them, you're gonna be in an emotional turmoil for existence, having self-worth. Because like, if your worth is based on the approval of other people, then you'd be on like a high saying, everyone likes me, I feel great about myself. But what happens then when everyone turns on you, then your worth's gonna go plummet. You from possibly understood, you should never have your worth kind of on a pedestal for other people. Like, you put other people on a pedestal, and therefore your worth comes from those people. That's never a wise approach. If anything, it's quite dangerous and foolish, because you're going to end up with heartbreak and pain and suffering unnecessary. So, but if your worth is within yourself, your own self-worth, people's opinions of you shouldn't touch you unless there's some bit of truth in it. That's advice that I often give to many people. If someone says something to me, I get an emotional reaction from it. I have to question myself of why was I getting an emotional reaction to it, because things only hurt you if there's a bit of truth in it. Maybe it's very disrespectful what they said, that one or the other. So it's either your pride gets hit, or it's a combination of both. Either they hit your pride, and your pride gets hit and you get disrespected and you react, or it's something deep down in your conscience, when yourself, that there's something that they're saying that you're either insecure about, or there is some truth in it that you don't want to process. So you say, no, go away, I don't want to know that about myself. No. So you lash out, and then you attack them. So you don't actually attack what they're telling you, or process it and go on and say to them, okay, ask them like, why do you think this, or where did you come with this perception or calculation of what you said, or like, where did you come up with this, and just give evidence, or ask them to give evidence or feedback. Sometimes feedback can be quite good for you. But you should never have your worth in other people. Your worth should come from within, or God. I say God first, and in yourself. Anything that's temporary, you find yourself worth in, it's going to be like, you'd be like going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, instead of being consistent and having more peace. Because if your worth is anything outside of things that are internal, that are temporary, that are fleeting, your what's going to be going up and down all the time, and it's going to be like going from like happy and then sad and happy and sad and happy and sad and like full of joy and then depressed and full of joy and then depressed and full of joy and depressed. But that's part of the human condition. But to recognize that and to recognize your what, people come and go. Those that are meant to be in your existence would be there. If not, that they have time, you have time, and that's one way to know your worth is to know time, energy. Knowing time, energy is very important to understand your worth. You're limited by time. Understanding is very important. Some person might not be in your presence all the time. That's okay, but as long as the heart is towards you, that's the main thing. But if you're kind of a people pleaser, and this is example of someone that has very low self-worth, is if they desire for people to like them, and therefore that desire of people to like them is where they get the worth from, and that's, personally, I was probably one of the biggest people pleasers on the planet when I was younger. So that's why I'm somewhat of an expert in that field and other fields, which I might make some other videos about, but I get sidetracked a lot in my videos. So know your worth, very important, and not to have your worth based on other people. Find it within yourself or God. Anything outside of that is a foundation that's going to crumble. It might be stable for a while, but eventually that foundation is going to crumble, because if your worth is based on people that are liking you, you basically have to put on a mask and hide aspects of yourself out of fear that you might cause conflict with those people, because you're trying to be a people pleaser. So you put a people pleaser mask. So therefore your worth is based on having a people pleaser mask worth. So you have to keep on doing these exact same things, not to rock the boat. Not very good metaphors, but some of them are apply very well with this for your worth. So many people compromise on their values, their morals, their character, their integrity, just for people to like them and just get some bit of worth from them. Not realizing that that worth itself is not genuine worth, because there's no point of unless you have worth for yourself, you can't expect other people to consider you to be worthy of you. But more importantly is from yourself, because people come and go. Like you have somebody in life, you could have somebody in life for 15 years. Okay, you could be gone the next day, and if all your worth came from that one source, it should come from yourself though, because like you're always going to be in the presence of yourself. People can come and go. You might talk to somebody for a day, 3 days, might contact you a week. So if your worth is based on that, it's fleeting at best. It's fleeting. So work based on yourself, and if people want to be in your presence, they're going to be in your presence. Don't beg for people to be in your presence. Have some bit of self-respect and self-worth, because they're both interlinked, like self-belief, all these self. But it's understanding the most important thing of your worth is one you're uniquely created, and that's why reflecting back on that you're uniquely created by God gives you the greatest sense of worth that's internal. People's worth of you is always going to be temporary, but to know that you're such worthy that someone else would die for you is like, I don't know how much worthy you can get as an individual, that God incarnate came down, died for your sins and paid for the past, present and future, all your sins, and you're worthy to God that He created in the first place and died for you. And to know that is the greatest worth that's very hard to comprehend. So you're uniquely created, you have gifts, you way to be a light unto others, and every human has that potential. Every human has the potential, because we're creating God's image, to love, joy, peace, patience, to give unto others. So every human on the planet has that capability to do so. They can choose to lift someone up, or they can choose to tear them down. Every person on the planet is do that. They have a choice to forgive, or they have a choice to seek vengeance and just totally seek destruction. Sadly, the latter part is what most people do. But yeah, just to quickly recap, know your worth is very important, because if you don't know your worth, you're gonna be in the cycle of wanting to be a people pleaser, and your worth to be found on things are temporary, and personally it's happened to me for most of my life where I wanted like everyone to like me. And my worth is found in that of people, like perception of me, people like me and things, and you compromise a part of yourself in the process of doing that, and it's just not worth it. Nothing is worth losing your worth in yourself. And that's the truth. Anyway, because it's important to know your worth. That's the most important. If I say one most important thing in this temporary existence is to know your worth, because if you don't know your worth, you're gonna have like more struggles. You're gonna have struggles anyway. Even if you know your own worth, you're gonna have struggles, but it's gonna make those struggles way more harder. And that's the truth. Anyway, thanks for watching this video.